Hi, welcome to my fourth screencast about tech tools for instruction purposes. This week I chose to research and explore the site Newsela. Newsela is a news article site that gives students and teachers access to thousands of articles, and I'll talk more about the details in this video. So a teacher can find this tool by going to newsela.com. They need to make an account. The Newsela account is free of charge to teachers and students. I'm on a student account right now. It didn't cost me any money. I didn't need to have a subscription or anything like that. So yeah, they can just Google it, they can type in the URL, and then you can sign up and get access to all of these articles. Devices, it can be used on a computer. I've got it on a computer right now. I was using it on my iPad earlier. It can be used on a phone, an iPad, a computer, whatever device is available to you and your students. This tool can be used for instruction because teachers can actually assign students articles. With this website, they can correlate Google Classroom to this website so all of their students are in the system, and they can assign articles to each student, whether those articles be the same or different, and that's how the student can get content for a specific subject. So like art, science and math, government, geography, history, it's all here. And there's text sets too. So you could do text sets for literature, text sets for science. It could go with your unit. It could be just a simple lesson on news articles for science, which is something that I'm going to be doing, which I'll explain in a minute. But yeah, so it's all about providing students with content, access to content, and you can personally choose as a teacher what your students are reading if that's how you want to go about it. Or you can give them the choice. It's easy to just search a topic or a specific article for students to read and look at. One really cool thing about this website and what drew me to it, I'll just go to an article, is that you can alter the reading level of every single article by Lexile level, which I think is so cool. And I'll go back in a minute during my demonstration, but yeah, you can adjust. And each article has different ones, but they usually range from like 1200 Lexiles to like 400 Lexiles. I saw 320 was the lowest that I've seen so far, and it makes all the difference. It limits the amount of words and it changes the vocabulary, so all students have access to it, which I think is so important if you want to use this as an instruction tool in your classroom, so that all students are going to be able to learn from it, because if they can't, then it's kind of pointless. In order to use this, a teacher needs, I would say, if they wanted to do it as a whole class thing, a smartboard or projector, and then each student should have a Chromebook. My students have Chromebooks or iPads or some device that they can pull their account up on so they can read the articles. And teachers can even print out these articles, like access to a printer, if they don't want their students on the website. Either one works. It depends on what resources are available and what teachers' preferences are. Personally, I would want to pull it up on a smartboard and have everybody have their device in front of them with the same article so they could go through it together, or if they're doing it individually, just each of them have their device in front of them. This version that I'm on right now is free, like I said before, and I found it hard to believe that this is the only thing they offered, and I looked into it, and there's a pro feature of Newsela that does cost money. It's $18 per student per year, so it's pretty expensive. So yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. It looks cool. It's more for assessment, I think, the pro, and the Newsela free version is more so instruction, which I'm exploring, so I obviously don't need to get the pro, but that's what it looks like. And I found a page just comparing the two. And for instruction purposes, Newsela itself does what I need it to, so I don't have to do Newsela Pro, but it does have some cool features. It allows student comments and allows teachers to see student progress over time. But both give them access to all the articles on database. Students can take quizzes on both versions, and teachers can assign articles to students on both versions. So it does what it needs to do for instruction purposes. All right. So as I was exploring this, I started going nuts because I loved it. I'm teaching a science lesson on the environment, and I started looking for articles that would help my students learn the content. And I found science and social studies content articles, and I was just so happy I wrote everything down. And then my teacher started talking to me, my cooperating teacher, about doing a lesson, like a weekly lesson on current news articles. And I said, hey, I'm looking at this site called Newsela, let's use that. So today we actually use Newsela to plan out a lesson in which we're going to have students pick an article of their choice, a current scientific news article. And we designed a worksheet that they're going to fill out there, and what they're going to write down is like the specifics of the article and connections they make and predictions that they make based on the content. So that's my example, that I'm actually using this to design lessons, and I'm going to be using it to teach content to my actual students, working with my cooperating teacher. So I think that's the best connection I've made thus far in these screencasts, is that I'm actually going to be using this site for instruction purposes. And I can see this going as, well, let's go to something in the news. This is what I would be using. Let's go to science. So students could go on this page, and this is basically my example and demonstration, because this is what I'm going to be doing in class, and this I'm showing you guys. So let's see, they want to read about scientists exploring the Earth's birth date. They could go here, they could adjust the levels as according to their grade or reading level, and as teachers, we'll help the students get to that point. We'll set it for them if we believe that they need to be lower than a 5th or 4th grade level. And I'll just show you what happens if you change it to a lower level. The words becomes more simple, there's less words, and it's the same exact content, it's just less bulk and it's less higher tiered vocabulary. So everybody's getting the same content, it's just different level, which I think is awesome. It's just a modification that teachers can use. And then there's activities. So students can, I don't have a class, but students can write about their article right online. My teacher and I are going to use paper because we just feel like our students are better, are more capable of producing a paper response than a typed response. And then there's quiz. There's a quiz on each article. So it tests their knowledge on what the article was about to see if they're paying attention. We probably won't use this either, but people can, and it's there. And I'm showing you guys. So, yep, those are the basic features of this site. So user friendliness, I found this to be very user friendly. It didn't take me any time at all to figure out how to use it. You just search, and there's automatic categories you can pick if you don't have anything to search. And there's text sets that, like this one, oops, is in Spanish. That's another cool feature. You can change the language of any article to Spanish. Yeah, so text sets, there's a mass shooting in Las Vegas section. It's just a bunch of articles about the same topic put in a folder that you can access. So students have diversity in what they're reading about one particular concept or topic. So yeah, it's so easy to find stuff. Strengths, there's access to so many articles on so many different topics, and it's organized so neatly and easy to navigate. And this version's free, and there's so much you can do on this for free. You can pick what grade you want. I teach 5th grade, so I'm gonna go with 5th grade. And it's modifiable, which is a huge strength. Change the language, like I said. Weakness, maybe just a weakness of the free version compared to the pro version is that you can't keep track of student progress, which I know I'm not reviewing this for assessment, but that could be a weakness to some people, is that you have to pay to track student progress or pay to be able to annotate. So that could probably be a weakness. Would I use this tool for instruction? I am going to use this tool for instruction. So yes, of course I would. And I'm very excited to see how the students work with it and what I'm going to be able to teach using this wonderful tool. I love this. This is probably my favorite tool I've reviewed so far. So, all right. Thank you for watching my screencast, and I hope you learned something about Newsela.